Hey, so you found my YouTube channel, and I am really excited about what I'm putting out right now. I've had 36 years in a really great sales career. Um, I kind of, I don't know, sales is in my blood. It started out really young. Everybody's got stories about what they did when they were little, when they were a young child, and how that kind of almost laid out their road for what they were going to do in life. And for myself, my entire family was in sales, my mom's side and my father's side. And it was kind of natural to flow into that. But as a child, I was very I was always into, like, if I could make something happen, if I could create something. But selling something in that process, like my friends and I, we would set up a little store, and you'd have to come into my store and you'd buy stuff. And we'd, set up the whole shopping experience and take your money and sell items. And then I was upselling and I was cross-selling. Didn't know I was doing all that, but I was. I used to take rocks from the side of the house, and the ones that were sparkly, I would take to our neighbors, and I would sell them. I would tell them that they were magic rocks, and I would come home with, not a lot of money, but I would come home with a handful of change, and my mom would be like, "Allison, where'd you get that money?" And I'd say, from Reed and from Hal and from Tony. And I started naming all these neighbors' names. And in that, she says, "Well, why'd they give you money?" And I said, "Well, I sold them rocks." And she goes, "You sold them rocks?" And I said, "Yeah, I sold them rocks. The ones from the side of the house, and they have all the sparkles in them, and they're magic." I told them they were magic rocks. So fast forward to more experiences. We had a family cabin, and I would climb up in the trees there and get mistletoe, bring it home, wrap it up in with a red bow and a sandwich bag, and I'd stand in front of the grocery store and I'd sell mistletoe around Christmas time. And I was able to buy my family Christmas gifts. Even though I'm Jewish, we always celebrated Christmas. And it just kind of flourished into a lot of different things. Growing up, there was the Jerry Lewis telethon every year on TV for the muscular dystrophy, and they would collect money. And that was you're talking back in the 70s. So people would call in and they'd have celebrities on there and donate money, and the celebrities would take the money or the call and sign it all up. Anyways, if you went to 7-Eleven, you could get a milk carton and you could go door to door and collect money for the muscular dystrophy. And then you'd turn in your milk carton with all the money you collected. I have no clue why, but I looked forward to that every year. And in that, I just like to go door to door and get people to give money. And it was all about the conversation. It was all about the talking to them and telling them and explaining to them why they needed to donate money. And I ended up needing more than one milk carton, and then turning it in. And who knows, it wasn't money for me, but I still was so excited about doing it. Every year I looked forward to it. So what I'm doing here, I kind of went off on a tangent, which salespeople tend to do. I'm going to take my whole 36 years of a very successful sales career as a employee and also as a business owner, and I'm offering a lot of free information and free tips and tricks, everything I do or I've done in my career to help me grow my success, my wealth. And I say wealth because as a salesperson, we're all triggered by our commission and what we can make. And sales is truly one of the only careers that sky is the limit. There is no limit, as long as you're on a commission. With that, I can't imagine ever in my life having a job where I knew what my paycheck was going to be every paycheck, whether biweekly, weekly, whatever it was. I wouldn't have the motivation to do my job. So with that, I think that is one of the key things that makes a successful salesperson a successful salesperson is that drive, that desire, and wanting to, whether that desire is based on earning potential, or making things happen, creating business. Sometimes making deals is putting things together, and it's like a web of so many different things that can come together to make deals happen. I personally have always been in the B2B space, so what I'm offering is really going to be tailored towards anybody in the B2B space. I could try and throw my hat in the ring in a consumer sales type arena, but it's not my thing. I'm a consumer and I can sell, so I suppose I could give it a shot, but I can't tell you that my program is going to be geared towards that. So I really want to offer great information, great tips, and all the information I possibly can, and make sure that it's information that will benefit you as the audience, and make it successful for everybody. I'm really, I guess I should back up and say I'm targeting women, and there is a backstory to that as well, which I can tell you in another video. So I'm really excited to put myself out there and offer all of my knowledge, my experiences, my failures, and my successes, because I can't tell you I've always done things right. Let's not say right. I can't tell you I've always done things that I feel have turned out to be the best choice. And maybe it turned out to be the wrong choice and it was kind of a failure based on that. But what I've done in my entire career is I've always taken those as learning experiences and stepping stones. And I've used it to learn and grow in another way, or another opportunity that may have come that could reflect somehow to that. So I'm going to take everything I can. I'm going to be a transparent, open book and offer you a ton of information. So, the thing that I think maybe I'm coming to the table with that is going to be a lot different than a lot of content creators and coaches that I see out there is I've been doing this a long time. 36 years. I know I look like I'm 30, so how could you do something for 36 years? Believe it or not, I am in my 50s, so it's definitely 36 years right out of high school into sales. So a lot of these other programs and coaches that I see, I just think, God, not that they're not smart people. I'm sure they're smart people and they can probably offer something, but they can't offer you 36 years of experience. They either are offering, a couple of years of experience of their own, or they've taken a class from somebody else and now they're regurgitating that information into offering you information on that. So my program, She Sells Academy, it's going to be just really hands-on, true experiences and knowledge of the industry. And when I say the industry, I don't mean, a specific industry, I mean the sales industry. With that, I'm going to be offering everything from the beginning of sales of, understanding prospecting, understanding your ICP, which is your ideal customer profile, understanding yourself and understanding your personality. There's something we call archetypes. And within that, you learn about who you are and what your personality is about. And with that, I'm able to show you how to present yourself and sell in a very authentic way. There's nothing worse than a salesy salesperson. I hate that. There's always ways to be authentic and connect with people and talk to people and not be salesy and have a good time. I mean, I love sales. I love getting on the phone. I love having a great conversation with somebody and connecting. And even if I didn't get business right away, I know that conversation was going to lead into more conversations that was going to lead into business. So sometimes the thrill of the chase, and then the catch. So with that, the prospecting, the understanding who you are, building your confidence in sales. A lot of people don't have that confidence, and it comes through in their calls. And with that, it's hard to be successful when you can't come across as the perfect or the guru in your said industry, as that go-to person that knows everything, that has all the answers to everything, that has the ability to put the deal together. So prospecting, within that, the tools that I use for prospecting, adding into automation, setting up automations, so that you as a salesperson are not overwhelmed with crazy, work that sometimes consumes your entire day and takes away from actually selling. And if you're not selling, you're not making money. If you're an employee or a business owner, both ways, you need to figure out ways to make everything work and work easily and together, so you can keep your mind focused on generating business. On that, the automation tools, social media, learning LinkedIn, understanding your profile, understanding how to maximize your profile for your audience, how to build an audience and build trust in LinkedIn as the expert in your field. With that, understanding the whole algorithm in LinkedIn on how to get your profile in front of the people that you want them to see it, and build that kind of audience around yourself, and have people coming to you and connecting with you on LinkedIn because they enjoy your posts, they find value in it, and they want to connect. Over and above social media, on that, we now can add in understanding our target's personality types. There's programs that I use for that. So you can understand how to approach your target, within that, kind of using your own archetype and then understanding their personality, and not being false, but understanding how to approach this person. So it's hard to make a cold call to somebody and not understand who they are, and the cold call goes flat. So if you kind of have an idea as to how they interact and how they react and their personality type, it gives you a really big plus on the whole call. Over and above this, we're going to go into, creating opportunities, adding opportunities by networking with others and bringing in business from different levels of leads that you never really even thought about attacking or attaching to your industry. So many people in so many industries, they lack the ability to prospect correctly and find a good target market within whatever it is that they're offering. And I always find, there's people say, if I hear people say, oh, all the good accounts are taken, or I can't do it because, they've got all the business. Any industry, I'll prove you wrong. It's absolutely not true, and you can be with a very large company and it's absolutely not true. There is no company out there that is servicing every single customer in your industry. So I don't think I kind of said everything that I want to say about what I'm going to be offering, but I gave you kind of a glimpse into it, a little bit of a scattered, conversation. But again, I'm new at creating this whole content online, so it's a learning curve for me to put it on video. So I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel here for a lot of great tips that I'll just be adding, maybe a short video saying, hey, did you try this? Giving you all kinds of tips and trips there. Also subscribe to our email newsletter, because that is going to be just filled with so many useful tips and tricks and tools. I'm going to get into, my book of tools that I use, and take away all the noise, because there's so many tools out there. So again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe for my email newsletter, and stay tuned, please, because it's going to be a lot of great information. I really look forward to doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be back with more. Thanks.